Do you ever feel like you just can't de-stress? Well, you're in the right place because I've got 3 functional medicine strategies to help you calm your overactive stress response system. So keep watching. Imagine that you've reached the end of a busy, exhausting day, and you're finally in bed for the night. You could really use a good night's sleep, but just as you're about to doze off, your brain kicks into overdrive. You find yourself suddenly overwhelmed with thoughts, most of them unpleasant. You remember that you have to do that thing you hate tomorrow, or you mull over the conversation you wish you would have handled differently, or you worry about the people that you love. And no matter how you try, you just can't stop thinking. Or maybe you're a great sleeper, but when it comes time to get some R&R on your summer vacation, you get antsy, irritable, anxious, because you have so much to do when you get back from your trip. You're supposed to be enjoying time with friends and family, but instead, you find yourself wishing you could just go back to work. Or maybe each day is one long overthinking session. And even when you have plenty of time and space built in to relax, you have to distract yourself from your own thoughts by binging mindless television, scrolling social media, drinking a glass of wine or two, or losing yourself in a video game. You're not relaxing, you're just disassociating. And as soon as you come out of your stupor, the thoughts start right back up again in full force. Any of this sounding familiar? The thing is, we've sort of normalized this feeling, this constant state of being on. To our overstimulated brains, it becomes an addiction, a dopamine-seeking behavior like multitasking. We've gotten so used to being in a constant state of alertness that it becomes our baseline. But it's far from the physiologic rest and digest, tend and befriend baseline that our bodies need to stay healthy and our minds need to stay well. And it's bothersome. The sleepless nights, the anxiety, the work obsession, and the time wasted on activities that isolate us from others. They keep us from living our most full and fulfilled lives. Here are some common strategies that people try and then usually abandon pretty quickly when trying to escape these distressing symptoms. First, we have sedatives, be that sleeping pills, alcohol, tranquilizers, or CBD gummies. Sedatives may help you shut off your mind and sleep, but the side effects, not to mention the highly addictive qualities of most of these strategies, make them poor band-aids and even worse long-term solutions. They don't address the root of the issue, the HPA axis. Second is meditation. While great in theory, I find that mindfulness or meditation practice is tough to tackle when you're experiencing an intense fight or flight response. Yes, meditation is hugely successful for treating runaway brain as a long-term strategy, and it has well-documented physiologic benefits as well as mental health benefits. But jumping into the deep end with meditation can be very frustrating, demoralizing, and even counterproductive for some. More on this in a moment. And third, we have denial. I'm not joking. For at least a little while, most people simply ignore these symptoms and hope they go away. Others absorb them into their personality, claiming that it's just the way I am, or I've never been a good sleeper, while perpetuating the problem, continuing unhealthy coping mechanisms, and slowly developing chronic disease. P.S. It's not your fault if you fall into denial or dissociation. We live in a stressful world that glorifies workaholism, encourages addiction, and offers few realistic alternatives. Thankfully, you've got better options than these, courtesy of functional medicine. You can learn to really relax, yes, even you, by addressing the dysfunction, dysregulation, and lack of balance that drives insomnia, anxiety, and even intrusive overthinking at the root. It's not a quick fix, and it may take some work to find the combination that works best for you. But there are a few simple strategies that can begin you on your way. So here you go. Number 1, eat a bedtime snack, but not just any bedtime snack. In fact, this strategy is just as much about what not to consume right before bed than anything. You see, if your body is hopped up on simple sugars and carbs, it's going to be difficult to relax. And if you're one of those folks that gets a second wind or get up a few hours after falling asleep wide awake, you might be experiencing a blood sugar crash, which then results in a spike of cortisol, the stress hormone that signals morning time. Avoiding sugary, carby foods and drinks, and yes, that includes alcohol, or at least balancing them with a high protein, high fiber, high healthy fat snack before settling in to relax, helps maintain a healthy circadian rhythm and calm stress response system. Number 2, add some magnesium. Half of the population is deficient in magnesium, and many more experience magnesium insufficiency. They're not technically low, but not high enough for optimal function. If you struggle to relax, feel antsy or jumpy or irritable, feel tense in your mind or your muscles, suffer from headaches or insomnia, guess what? You'd probably benefit from extra magnesium. You can check out my vetted magnesium supplements in the show notes, because the type of magnesium is important in this instance. Number 3, utilize adaptogenic herbs and plants. By their very definition, adaptogens help us adapt. Makes sense, right? I like to think of them like Goldilocks nutraceuticals, because they help us go from too hot or too cold to just right. It's a gentle but super effective way to help the body regain balance. And adaptogens do a lot more too. They act as a buffer for stress hormones. They protect your brain and nerve cells, and do so without disrupting normal biological parameters. They also provide safe, quick symptom relief while also cultivating stress resilience over time. And they don't interact with medications. One of my favorite adaptogenic blends for folks who feel like they just can't relax, wind down, or get restful sleep includes Rehmannia and Schisandra, 2 well-studied traditional Chinese medicine herbs. You can check out my favorite adaptogenic herbs in the show notes. Here's the reality. We all have stress in our lives of one kind or another. And sometimes you can't minimize or avoid it, and that's okay. What you can do is take concrete steps to improve the function of your body's stress response system as a whole, so that you can stress better even if you can't stress less. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this information helpful, please consider hitting that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to my channel. There's more functional medicine goodness where this came from. See you soon.